Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Snow at the Grifferaie. Whoa, we don't get this often. We don't get this often and early too. My goodness. We'll see if we get some accumulations. Be fun to get some shots of the chateau with snow.
Well, this is a first. I got up to make coffee and I started wiping down this window. And guess what I see outside? Can you see? Oh my goodness, it's trying to snow. That's crazy. We have not really ever seen that here. We may have to go outside and check it out. Oh, look at it. No wonder it's so cold outside. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Wow, wouldn't that be something if we actually had accumulation? Oh my goodness. Oh, it'll be cool to see, but boy, it's cold. Sheesh. No wonder it's been chilly. Oh, good thing I just got out the electric blanket from last year. But it is kind of fun to see. It was chilly all through second swing too, actually. It didn't matter what country we were in. It was not particularly warm. So I'm getting wet, so we're gonna go in. Look how fun. Okay, what I was gonna say before I saw the snow outside, I saw this thing on a lady's Instagram. Her name's Nancy Burwhistle, and she won the British Bake Off, so I had known her name already. But she has like 1 million books out and stuff on how to do amazing things around the house. So I had seen this one where she talks about how we get this, she lives in England, how you get this, condensation on the windows, sorry. And so she tried this thing where she takes 1 daub of dish soap, and look, the flakes are getting bigger. Oh. Anyways, and rubs it all over the window, just as is. And then she does this little test, you know, week after week to see how long it lasted. And she said it lasted, it showed that it lasted about 3 weeks, like almost a month. And without needing to like re-wipe everything again. So let's give it a go, shall we? So we're gonna do these 2 windows because these are the ones that's nice to look out in the morning. And we'll see what happens, if they stay or they go back to being that. Oh, I cannot believe the snow. All right, we'll find out. Okay, the coffee is made and the show has ramped up outside. I might actually have to tell Rob. Look at it. It's like, oh my goodness, look at the pieces. Oh my goodness. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Kind of fun, honestly. Look at that. Look, there's getting accumulation out there. So fun. Well, I was gonna go into Angers today and get dog food. Maybe we won't. Oh, goodness. Look at this. It's actually getting on the roof of the restaurant. Look at this. Oh. So good. Mr. Bingley, is this a good idea? Uh-oh, well, there he goes.
When the temperature drops, it's very important to make sure that all the lines are drained, especially the water lines out here in the restaurant because it's so open. So today's job is going to be, the water mains are already shut off, but we're going to remove the plugs and open the taps and drain all the lines out. I'm very fortunate that our previous owner walked around the restaurant with me and showed me all the low points to open up when it's time for winter. So I just take the fittings right off and let them drain out. We had our GA guys move the tables back here, and it turned out to take up a little bit more space than we wanted. They're out of the way, which is nice, but it's gonna be hard to get around a little bit. But that said, we'll try to get this thing open and see if we can have anything that will open this massive guy. Okay, I think we got her. We really do need to get a bigger wrench. This might shoot out a bit here. We'll see what happens. Oh, there's not that much water up there apparently. Maybe have to open some more of these. Oh yeah, you can hear it. It's gonna run down from the roof for a bit. You can hear it, but you don't know where it's running exactly. Interesting. The water's not coming out, but it's definitely moving. Where are you going? Have to go walk around and take a look. No, that's where it's going. I guess it goes to the lowest point. That makes sense. Let's go find some more. All right, we'll open that guy up too. Drip out any water we see. Let's see if we got anything here. Yeah, a little bit. This one too. Not much. But we'll let that run though. It is nice that this whole thing is tile. So we don't have to be worried too much about a little water on the ground. I think I've counted 31 toilets on this property. Now, not all of them are great, but we gotta flush them to get all the water out, the pipes. And we got almost all of it out, I think, already. Gotta walk around to each one. Interesting to know if we'll ever use these again. It's not out of the question. It kind of depends on what we end up doing as a school. If we stay small, we won't need them. But, I mean, this is sort of an external bathroom, which could be handy if you ever like had RVs or if you had like kind of camp, like a camp situation. Anyways, we'll see. Or if the school gets bigger and we end up put students over here in this building or somewhere else, it's nice to know that you have options. It's nice to know that you have options. In case you're not sure where we are, I'll just show you. There's the chateau over there. This is the restaurant. Probably I should, we had the GAs, a couple of the guys, I think Eddie maybe, came around and cleared out all these gutters, so that was great. And we need to get up, honestly, we need to get up and clear out some of there's some stuff up there, I think, that really should be cleared out, so I need to get on that eventually. But it looks like this one's draining well. And I believe we've also had some difficulty up here. This is probably plugged a little bit, so I need to really get over here and fix this at some point. So with so many applicants for 2025, we've brainstormed a little bit where we could put extra students. And one of the out-of-the-box ideas the students had was, what if you had some students or maybe GAs come live over here in the restaurant? For example, this walk-in fridge, okay, so now you're thinking, hey, you don't want to suffocate somebody. Yes, you're right. So what we would do is we'd take this door completely off, and then just build like a temporary door that lets in some light, but still gives them a little privacy. And just have like a little room in here. I mean, it's not great, but if you really wanted to come. I have occasionally wondered about the idea of having like, this is a complicated idea, and I don't know if it's a good idea, but to having some spaces, like having a multiple, kind of a variable pricing strategy. Like, let's say some kid really wants to come, but we don't have room, and we don't have room in the great rooms, and we say, hey, well, you know, the normal students pay $4,000, but we'll charge you $2,000 if you stay in this room, or $2,500. Obviously, we're just trying to cover costs. We probably lose money on every student. We've had some really generous folks donate, and so that offsets some of the cost. Remember that none of our staff are paid. But we do have to pay for hotels and gas and utilities and, you know, beds and sheets and glasses and gas for the tractors and bikes, and all of these things cost money. So we do need to charge something. And right now we're able to do the trip for about $4,000 a kid, $5,000 for the longer weeks. But then I thought, you know, it would be fun to be able to let some kids, maybe some kids can't get that money, and to offer them a place to go. I would take it. When I was a kid, I would take it. The biggest danger is, we don't want to create a class system, right? We don't want to create like some kids are in the nice rooms and some kids are not in the nice rooms. Though honestly, there are some young people, and there's some people that would just prefer that. Like, I kind of floated it to the students, and there's a couple of them that are on the more frugal side, like myself, that said, in a second they would stay in the attic if they could save maybe €2,000 or maybe €1,500. They said they would do it in a second, and I was like, yeah, I would too. you know, and I guess my other thought is there's probably some kids that would like to come that will not be able to get the money, and this would make it a way for them to come and still enjoy everything great, all the great food and all the great locations. And most of the day they're walking around the nice chateau, and then at night they go into their own private room that's not as quite as cool. I don't know. Leslie's a no on the idea. She doesn't like it. She thinks everyone should get the nice rooms, and I get that, but we only have so many rooms, so we'll see what we end up doing.
Well, the snow has passed. Everything is dripping, getting moments of sunshine, which I'm not sad about ever. And I'm out to cut some boughs of holly. Well, not boughs of holly. I've come to not like holly because it apparently sticks itself to trees and then kills them. So who knew holly was so vengeful? Anyway, so I'm going to cut other stuff. Maybe a little of this. See if we can find any scotch around here, which I don't think we can, but evergreens we have. So we will take some and see how festive we can get. Oh, okay, so update on the window test. You know, downstairs in the kitchen, I'm sorry to say, the dish soap didn't work. Sorry, Nancy. I had high hopes for that to work. Now, up here I used actually shampoo and thought, let's try that. And you know, I don't know if it's just coincidence that all of the others are still drippy and this one dried faster. It was still moisture ridden in the morning, but now has cleared up much better than the others. So again, I would take that even as a win. So, I mean, I don't know. Hard call. We'll keep watching and seeing. Maybe I should do the other window on the other side and then see. Now I'll mention this as well. Clearly, I understand that double paned windows would solve a lot of this problem. What do you see, Vingy? I think it's a leaf, honey. I think that's all it is. Yeah, I think it's okay. And I realize that other kinds of things like dehumidification and a number of other things would work. But we're not changing 5 million windows, which is what we pretty much own, into double pane, at least not in the near future. So I would just like, you know, a little win on some of this. And some of that might come when we do a different heating system, which could help immensely. But I think there'll always be a bit of this issue just because they're single pane, which I have to say isn't actually that cold, shockingly, coming from a Canadian upbringing. I'm kind of surprised, but needless to say, I would like it if we could come up with some kind of solution other than just buying some kind of chemical, which they don't really have a lot of here, unless someone in France knows of one. I know we have them in America, probably Canada too, but not here from what I can see so far. So anyway, back to experimentation. And so far, you know, I'm not sad about that.
When we finished up the second swing with the students, I was really excited to come start some projects. And I really wanted to get on the bathroom, our main floor bathroom. Let's shoot all the way up. Look at that, all the way up to the attic, 90-something stairs. And so I was ready to just start tearing stuff out. And Leslie said, you know, this is very uncharacteristic because she's very much, let's move forward. But she said, we have a lot of things that are broken and we need to repair. Maybe we should take care of some of that before we start another project. And she was 100% right. Now, we do have a couple stairs in the servant staircase. You can see people are walking up them a lot. Look at that, they're like worn down. And there's a couple that move. And this one here has come very loose. Look. So this needs to be repaired. See it move? It's almost a trip hazard. So we're gonna see if we can figure this out. So it's funny, I was telling Leslie, yeah, I'm gonna go try to repair that stair. And she says, oh, not the bottom one. I said, what? And this one, we've had one that squeaked here for a long time. And she's like, yeah, don't repair that one because I like to know when people are coming. And when she's in the kitchen, she can hear that one squeak, and so she knows her help is almost there. So we're gonna leave this as our little safety security stair. All right, here we are. Underneath the staircase. What might we find down here? And let's see if we can find it. Oh, I'm gonna say it's that. What do you think? Let's take a look. I'm gonna say that's our problem. Oh yeah, the screw's just broken right out there. Okay, well that looks like an easy fix, right? We'll just put a couple boom, boom, boom right across. Maybe those nails are broken. We'll put those in. I bet you that's gonna be like a 3-minute solution. You know, I think we got it. A couple of screws attaching that. But then also we shimmed it up. This wood, some of these boards have come a little bit loose, and so we just put a little bit of wood in there to shim it, and that should take care of it for now. Perfect. That's perfect. No movement at all. Well, that's great. That's an easy fix. Well, friends, it's the evening of day 5, and it's wet and cold outside. But inside we have some beautiful candles, and let's go over to the piano, shall we? And enjoy the grand salon. And the warmth and glow of candles. And I want to talk just for a minute about one of the big ideas of Advent, which is, I believe the first one is hope. Now, first of all, I hope we can get that candle burning a little better. All right, sitting at the piano, a beautiful evening. I love coming in here and playing sometimes. You know, even when all the lights are out and it's dark, it's just a beautiful place to play. You know, there's some beautiful, beautiful Christmas carols, and one of the ones that is most famous, but not my favorite, is probably "O Holy Night." Now, I think there's good reasons why it's not my favorite. First of all, hard to sing, but also when I was a kid, I liked to sing, and so there was an elementary school Christmas party, and the teachers asked me to sing at the whole school was there, and I think the parents were coming, and they asked me to sing a solo of this song all by myself. So there I am standing on the stage. It was the dress rehearsal, and as you know, the song goes really high, and I was like early elementary, so my voice hadn't changed, and so I was singing the song "Oh Night to Find," you know, going way up. And as I was singing, I noticed some of the older boys, the 7th grade, 8th grade boys, started like snickering because I was singing high like a girl, and they started laughing at me. And I've always been a sensitive kid, and so I think I actually remember, and it's sort of blurred in my memory, but I think I actually started crying on stage. I think I looked at them and I was so embarrassed, you know, all there by myself on the stage, and I started crying. And of course, the teachers were mad as anything because they don't want to see a kid hurt like that, and so they started getting mad at those kids. And anyways, you know, it's a beautiful song, but ever since then, I was kind of like, not my favorite Christmas carol. But have you looked at the words? Have you looked at the words? Like, I'm going to read it here. Okay, here they are. Incredible. Now, by the way, the song originally written by a French poet. It was commissioned in the 1800s. I just saw this on the internet, and they were looking for a song, and so he wrote a poem. And then a little bit later, they came through with the music. And the music is pretty powerful, and it's fitting in a lot of ways. But the poem, I think, is even more beautiful. Let me read it for you. Perhaps I'll play a little bit on a second track behind. O holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Okay, typical Christmas so far, right? But then listen to this. This is profound and deep. Long lay the world in sin and error pining. The poet observes the planet and sees the brokenness and the wars and the hatred and the, you know, what the Bible calls sin. In the Christian worldview, you have a God who creates these humans, and he puts them on this planet, and he wants them to do well, and he gives them ideas. But then for millennia, the humans reject him and disobey him, and the Old Testament talks about the God of the Bible looking down at these humans and being grieved that he created them. And so he sends these prophets to try to reach them, and he keeps calling them back. And finally, he sends his son, you know, at Christmas. And so long lay the world in sin and error pining. The poet observes just the hopelessness and the evil and the pain and the hurt that's part of this world. And he says he's pining for something to change. That speaks to me. Till he appears and the soul felt its worth, you know, somehow knowing that the God of the universe, again, in the Christian tradition here, the God of the universe would send his own son to come and get us back on on the right track. It bespeaks human dignity. And so I get that line, the soul felt its worth. And then he goes, a thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices. The chance that it could be more than just what we see. You know, the pain and the hurt, that this planet could be better. For yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. And then the poet reflects, and he calls the audience, fall on your knees, he says, oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. And then he gets really big with the song. Oh, night, oh, holy night, oh, night divine. Second verse, even better, fast forwards through time to when this little child has become an adult. And he talks about the message of Jesus. Remember, Jesus coming to the planet according to the Christian tradition. I understand everybody doesn't, believe in Christianity that's watching the show, but it's helpful to understand different religions. And so I'm certainly explaining Christianity a bit, which I think is true. And so he fast forwards to the little child in the manger who's grown up now and is teaching people and has ideas like, do unto others as you would have done unto you, and love your neighbor as yourself, and forgive and love your enemies. All these great, wonderful ideas in the New Testament. And so the poet writes, truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Now here the poet, I think, understands the true nature of Christianity. And I almost kind of grieve a little bit because I know a lot of people in today's world, Christianity's sort of gotten a little bit of a bad name with some of the politicians and some of the things that have happened, and the acrimony and the nastiness. Here in France, some of the Christians tell me that the word evangelical has become a bit of a bad word, mostly with what's happening in Brazil and then also in the United States. With sometimes there's been a bit of a conflation between politics and Christianity. And I think, and again, I'm not telling you guys who to vote for. I'm a Canadian, I'm living in France, I don't vote anywhere. You do your thing, vote for the policies you like, but I think what's happened in the world is sometimes politicians will try to use Christianity to get elected, and then sometimes we fall for that, sometimes the Christians. And so again, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I am saying that the true notion of Christianity is better encapsulated by the poet. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother. In his name, oppression shall cease, because that is the big idea of Christianity. It's the kingdom of God and freeing people from darkness and helping people to have a better life and love and care. And it's not us against them, and it's not getting our way, and it's not entitlement and some of these other things. Beautiful. Then once again, he reflects he writes to the audience, and he says, sweet hymns of joy and grateful chorus raise we. Let all within us praise his holy name. And then he says, he stands back and says, Christ is the Lord. Oh, praise his name forever. His power and glory evermore proclaim. And then again, his power and glory evermore proclaim. Okay, I don't know if I can sing it. I'm convinced I can't get Leslie to come sing it. There's no way. I'm trying to get her to sing more songs, you guys. Help me in the comments. I mean, I love her voice, and if you do, you should write it too, because yeah, it'd be great to get her to sing a little bit more. But anyways, but if I'm going to try to sing this thing, I might have to go into a cathedral tomorrow in Beaugé and record it, because I need all that reverb to help, because I'm not that great a singer. But let's play it a little bit on the piano. Maybe we'll do a version with the guitar, and then you can enjoy the song. Certainly you can enjoy the lyrics and the hope of a Savior coming to this planet. Holy night, the stars are bright.